What is up, Goat World? We are back at you again with another one. I got the man, Fancy Diesel, second place in the Goat Grand Prix Philadelphia. All right, so Fancy, real quick, tell us, Goat World, about yourself. Introduce yourself. Tell us about the event. Tell us about your deck, man. We're all excited to hear about it, man.
Yeah, what's going on, Goat World? My name is Michael Warren, aka Fancy Diesel. I've been playing online now since probably the start of the pandemic. I got into the game like most other players, watched the TV show, you know, got a pack or a starter deck, and then kind of just became a passion from there. I never really played competitively back in the day. I didn't start going to locals until about 2010. I was still playing Playground Yu-Gi-Oh back when this GOAT thing was happening, playing some jank, but played from 2010, stopped playing around 2012, 2013, about when Mermails came out, and then it's pretty much gone from the game. COVID hit. Started playing online, came back to current for a little bit, but I was like, I didn't really like the modern game. It was a little bit too much for me to learn, so I thought, you know, let me go play a simple format. Everyone's favorite legacy format, GOAT format, the format we all love and adore. I remember back in locals, I used to play GOAT control mirrors with some buddies back in the day. So I just hopped on DB, as most of us do when we want to get back into GOAT format. Hopped on DB ladder, was getting killed online. I remember, I think the first really good player I remember playing against was Ghost Rider. And yeah, I wasn't shuffling my hand online. You know, I was still playing Go Control in 2020, and Ghost Rider comes in with Turbo and starts, you know, kicking. And I'm like, man, what the hell is going on? I think when I really started taking this a little bit more seriously was around the time Moxie's was winning, killing it with Warriors. So naturally I was like, let me copy what the best player at the time is doing. Let me pick up Warriors, see how this thing goes. I noticed the deck was significantly easier to pick up and pilot than most other decks in the format. So I kind of stuck with that. That was my bread and butter for pretty much till now. I mean, that's my go-to deck if I want to really go hard and try and get some wins. Picked up Turbo for a bit. I played other decks. I play pretty much everything now, but yeah, Warriors still my go-to, and that is what I brought today. Got second place, well, yesterday. All
right, Diesel, man, go ahead and show. So you playing Warriors. You think Warriors' best deck?
No, it's not the best deck.
Man,
this deck sucks.
No,
this deck is, it's okay. It's all right. If you want to beat Turbo players, I guess you can play this deck. You won't beat them that often if you're playing against a good player, but I beat them enough, so yeah.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes. All right, so let's see what you got, man. Let's see this Warrior deck.
All right, for the monsters, we got Mr. Beal. I drew him a lot, so I won a lot.
Damn, ain't that the damn truth?
Everyone's favorite light warrior monster, Blade Knight. Try stop flip effects with this guy. If you have one or less cards in your hand, it goes up to 2,000, and you start beating their face in very fast. Good card. Only 2, Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer. So when I was building this list, I wanted to try and keep the monster count down. I didn't want to have hands where I'm drawing 3+ monsters in my hand. I wanted at the most 2 monsters in my hand with 4 spell or trap cards, and yeah, the 2 Kaiku was fine. I actually, yeah, I didn't miss the 3rd one that much. You can definitely play 3, it's fine, but 2 was good today, and it did its job, banishing light and darks and preventing my opponents from dropping chaos. Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke, just 1, just to clear spies, basically. Spy is a very problematic card for this deck, so you want to have an answer to it, this being the best answer for it. And that's pretty much all this card does, kill spies. If the player's bad, maybe they'll leave a chaos monster in defense and you can kill with that. That didn't happen. Played a lot of good competition yesterday, so not a lot of misplays from my opponents. Don Zalug, I almost didn't play this guy. I almost cut him for Zambira because Don, when it gets in and it feels really great. You rip a card out of their hand, but when it's not doing anything, you'd rather have a Zambira because I think Zambira provides more utility. It's very good in the mirror match, can kill a spy, can kill a defense chaos sorcerer, but Don was fine. I think I maybe connected with this once or twice, but yeah, it was fine. I think Don's a good card, but it's definitely overrated, and you can definitely consider cutting this card for something else. DD Warrior Lady, I don't think this needs much explanation, just good 1-for-1 removal. Swordsman level 2, just to kill face down monsters. That's what this deck aims to do. Just kill face downs and stop flips from resolving. Exile just trades with any problematic monster. Anything that's in your way, Exile can take care of it for you. And then onto the non-warriors, Breaker, and Tribe. So that rounds up the monster lineup, 13 monsters. Onto the spells. Pot, graceful, and duo. I drew these cards a decent amount, so I won a decent amount. Self-explanatory, space heavy. I don't think these need any explanation. This is like your 4th and 5th Trinity piece. You just are able to tutor out any of your monsters for whatever situation you need. Yeah, it's a very good card. I don't think this deck would be nearly as good without 2 of these in the format. Nobleman, standard, just to take care of face-down monsters. And then onto the turbo part of the deck, 2 upstarts. I wasn't sold on this initially, but I started playing the deck for myself, and I just noticed how much more consistent the deck is when you have these in your deck. Yeah, I think the card's really good. I don't think you need to play upstart and the jars, as you will see later, to do well with this deck, but it certainly helps with the consistency of the deck, and it helps you keep up with turbo a little bit more. Helps you dig through your deck and just get to your key cards faster. So upstart was really good. I don't know if I would play the turbo version going forward, but you definitely can. But you don't need these. The deck is still good without them. And then onto the 2 equip. Snatch. This is a broken card. This is a stupid card. Won me a few games. And then premature burial, just to get back any of your guys in the graveyard and start hitting their face. Onto the traps. Call of the Haunted. I almost considered cutting this. This was one of the last minute choices I decided to go with. It actually won me a game yesterday against yours truly, actually. Yeah, it's a good card, but you can cut this. This is one of the flex spots for sure. But I liked it. It was good. I did end up siding it out a decent amount, but yeah, it's a good card. Onto the Trap Trinity, as I like to call it, Mirror, Ring, and Torrential. Torrential was another card I considered cutting for maybe like a 3rd jar or a 3rd dust shoot. I didn't get like a crazy Torrential off or anything, but I did use it on a turbo player when they dropped a sorcerer on me, and it helped me get back into the game. These 2 I don't think need much explanation. If you're running warriors, these 2 cards should definitely be in your deck. This card you don't have to play. I think a lot of players just are automatically throw Torrential into their deck. And it's for a lot of the reasons this card isn't that great in turbo. It's not that great in warrior because you want to establish a board with monsters, and having torrential can be kind of awkward because you're gonna a lot of times end up wiping your own board. But I think this card is probably too good to cut just to get potential pluses off of this and get you back into unwinnable games.
And besides, being IRL, you got to play TT.
Yeah, for sure.
People don't play around it as much as they do online.
They don't respect the card.
Yeah.
And then just 1 Saku. This was another card I considered cutting, another flex spot. I wanted the 1 an extra battle trap outside of Mirror Force just for the mirror match, because the night before the event, there was a event AJT hosted. Shout out to AJT. And there was, I think, half the field was warrior players, so I was like, okay, I need at least 1 Saku in my main deck, because I figured there'd be a lot of warrior players on the next day. So and there were. Going forward, I would probably like a 2nd one of these. This card's really good. Yeah, you just love 1-for-1 trading with your opponent. So yeah, Saku's good. Triple Solemn Judgment. Yeah, it's warriors. You have to play Triple Solemn. There's no questions, no ifs, ands, or buts. You need this card. Very strong. Then 1 Zing Zenhu and 1 Dust Tornado. I like the flexibility of both of these cards. Your opponent has an important decision when they're setting back rows. They have to choose to play around one or the other. And if they try and play around Zing and they set 1 and I dust them, then, you know, usually good things will happen for me. And then if they try and play around the dust, set 2, and I zing them, yeah, it gets really bad for them very fast. Both good cards. I think I would want a 2nd dust. I don't think I would cut Zing. I think Zing's really good, especially with these guys specifically. But yeah, I would like a 2nd dust going forward. Card's very good. Then onto the other turbo card in the deck, 2 Jar. Yeah, it just helps with consistency. You can do a lot of trickery and tomfoolery with this. Using Zing, targeting your Jar, targeting their set, chaining it. You can set, if you have 2 of these, set it. Hopefully they heavy you, or even if they break and target your Jar, MST it, and then you chain it, you're just very happy with this. I think Jar makes things very difficult for your opponent, because when they're trying to read your back row, they have to decide, do I think they have Jar set? Is it worth committing my resources to target a back row that's going to be chainable? It makes things difficult for the opponent, so I think Jar is really good. I think if you were to cut Upstart or Jar, you probably would want to cut the Upstart first. If you're going to run Zing, I like Jar. Yeah, just makes it difficult for your opponents to make accurate reads. So that's really good. And then 2 Dust Shoot. I would never cut this card in Warrior. I think it is too damn good. If this card resolves, a lot of times you are just on autopilot for 1 or 2 turns, and then you can make decisions based on what they have, and so on and so forth. And just, if this card resolves, a lot of times you just win games. So I don't think I would ever cut this. I've always kind of liked 2. I played 3 before, but that creates more potential late game bricks, and you can't have that in Warrior. You need to have all of your cards be active, and you need to be applying pressure to your opponent, and any dead card is just tempo you're losing. So you can't afford that. I think 2 is the way to go. You can play 3, but 2 was good for me. It was excellent. Onto the side deck. We have 1 Mobius, 2 Spy, and I'll include this card in this package, 1 Brain Control. So initially I had 2 Brain, 2 Mobius, mostly for the mirror match, sometimes these Mobius for burn as well. This 2-card combo, shout out to LeBounty, for Brain Control specifically. I mean, Brain is really good in the mirror, because when you activate Brain, you are basically saying to your opponent, oh, I probably have a Mobius in my hand, and they have to then make a decision, do I want to spend my resources stopping the Brain? If I take their monster and they have a monster on board, I can just attack over their monster, and then I might force out a battle trap or some sort of response. And then if they let it resolve, then they run the risk of this guy coming down and then just completely ruining their day. So I think this package is very good. I don't think you need to run these cards on your side. There are definitely other cards you consider playing, but this worked out fine for me. The Spies are just generally pretty good. I know some people bring them in every matchup. I don't bring them in every matchup. I bring it in against Turbo, Control, and Warrior primarily. I don't bring these in against Burn. If I was running Walk in the side deck, maybe I would consider it, but Spy is just very, very good. Just adding an additional body on the board. Sometimes you can just get aggressive with these. I mean, if these attack direct, that's 2,400 damage, and you're that much closer to killing them. And then onto my Chaos Control hate, I had 2 Tigers, 1 Asura. I wanted to have these cards. I thought there would be a decent amount of scapegoat decks for the event, so I wanted to be prepared with these. The 2 Tiger is also very good in the burn matchup. If they try and trio you, the trio tokens die. If this is the only monster on the board, they can't summon Panda, or it'll die. Rat targets will die to this. Just a very good card. Obviously prevents your opponent from playing scapegoats. Recruiters do not like King Tiger Wanghu. This is a card I will always run in my side deck. I think you always want to have at least 2 Tigers in your side deck. And then Asura Priest was one of the last cards I decided to run. I actually didn't have a 3rd Tiger. I don't know if I would run a 3rd Tiger. I think Asura is nice, just being able to clear goats and being proactive rather than just a sitting floodgate. When the goats do go up, you want to be able to have an answer for them. So Asura did a great job of doing that. And then the 1 Cliff is just mostly for burn. Sometimes you can bring it in the mirror match, but and it'll just force a response out of your opponent. Usually eats a battle trap, but yeah, mostly just for burn. You want to get under the level limit and gravity bind. And then we have 1 Mind Control. Mind Control is a very good card if you're good at making reads. If you are bad, maybe I wouldn't. If you're kind of a newer player, I might not play this card because you can a lot of times get baited into taking a Sangan, a Serpent. A lot of times you don't even want to try and take a flip. You just want to have this as an answer to a Chaos monster when that comes down, because yeah, anything with more than like 2,000 attack can be very problematic for this deck. So yeah, sometimes this could just be an answer for Chaos. I think I resolved this on a Moth yesterday and just won the game on that turn because of this. So yeah, very good card, and in conjunction with Spy, if you're not running Spy in your side deck, I might not consider running this, because if you take their Spy, then you get the plus off of it. Well, you go even actually, but so Mind Control's a very good card. And then more hate for Chaos Control, because I think that's, and just GOAT decks in general, I think that's probably your worst matchup to book. I didn't main book in my list. I had 1 in the main, but I shifted that to the side to fit in the upstarts and jars. So yeah, book is just mostly for Chaos Control. Maybe if you're running against a deck that plays Decrees, you want to take out some of your traps, and you can just bring these in. So yeah, book is just, I think I would always have this card in my side deck. 2 Saku, just for the mirror match and any other aggro decks really, and then 2 Dust Tornadoes just to round out the side. Dust Tornado is a very good card. Just any floodgates, anything that's problematic, decks that are running a lot of back row. You can even consider bringing this in against Turbo if you want to. if you think it's necessary, because usually they side in a lot of battle traps, so Dust trades with those battle traps. And yeah, that is my deck list.
I love it. I like the deck. Warriors' best deck. You know what I'm saying? We out here at the basketball court doing our things. You know what I'm saying? He's a decent basketball player too. But real quick, hey, Fancy, tell us about the event, man. Tell us about some of your matchups that you had that you can remember. Nothing too crazy. You don't got to go into too much detail, but just like.
So yeah, I can't remember every matchup I played. I can run through my top 16 run. In top 16, I played against, Salvador, I believe was his name. He was on Turbo. I believe I 2-0'd him into top 8, played against a goat control player. I actually did a very kind of a quirky thing. I remember, I don't know, he had some monster on board. I think he resolved a Thunder Dragon, and then I had a Mirror Force face down. He resolved the Thunder Dragon, goes to 4 cards in hand, and I'm like, think on resolution, you know, just trying to bluff and make him think that I have Dust Shoot when I don't. I'm just, you know, trying to do some trickery, some tomfoolery. I think he commits another monster to the board and then attacks. I Mirror Force him, and then, went from there. So yeah, did a little bit of trickery in that match. Ended up winning that 2-1. Top 4, I played the man, the myth, the legend, JDZ.
Some loser, dude.
Man, we had a crazy match. I sacked him game 3. I drew pot, duo, double solemn, and
a better player won, dude.
I don't know about that. JDG is a fierce competitor. He's not just a content creator. If you play him in a tournament, you're gonna get cooked by him. I just got lucky. If I didn't draw Trinity, I was probably losing that match. So I got fortunate, got my Worlds invite, and then I got cooked by Lucas promptly in the mirror match because that man had 3 Spy, 3 Mobius, 2 Brain Control. He cooked me, and I didn't get the win, but I got my invite, so that's the most important thing.
And you don't know this, but Fancy is a talented Edison player as well. So he's probably one of the only people in the community with the Edison invite, 2 Worlds, and the Goat invite. You know what I'm saying? So he's doing it big out there. So any other quick shout outs, man, before we wrap this thing up and get up out of here, dude?
I gotta give a shout out to my teammates on Damage Step, Insidious, Soul, MMF, Mascus, Temply, Hyper Beam, the Gardener, Prix. I always mispronounce. I'm so sorry, Claire. I apologize. But yeah, I got to give a shout out to those guys. I don't think I would be where I'm at today without them. They've helped me improve a lot, helpful in my decision making, you know, just good people, always checking up on me, making sure I'm doing well. And then just shout out to everyone in the community, everyone that I've talked to, everyone I've played against. I've learned a lot from everyone here. So yeah, it's been a great journey. If you guys aren't playing GOAT format, if you guys play current, please consider playing this format. It's a great format, great people, great community, great environment. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of in-person stuff going on. If you don't feel like playing behind a monitor, come out, play in these GOAT Grand Prix, get your invites, start playing some goats, and yeah, that's it for me, guys.
I love it, man. All right, Fancy, you take care, man. It was good. Now we gotta get on this basketball court and do it up, man. So appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
All right, peace out.
This program was made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.